Okay, everyone. Right, well, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to already edit the mishap count. As you can see by the title of the stream, today's stream is the perfectionist stream. We are aiming for the least amount of derailments and the least amount of problems, and unfortunately, we have already had a problem. You might have remembered last week. Might have remembered last week that I had to go to the toilet halfway through the stream, but I've made sure that won't have to happen this week. And I had to set the adjoining video, which you've just put on, to loop, and unfortunately I forgot to turn that up this week. And I have also just noticed another mishap. I haven't changed the episode number to 4. So unfortunately, before we've even got any trains running, we're on a mishap count of 2. But anyway, regardless of that, hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to you as you join me once again for another live stream from my channel, HEMR Railway. Today's stream topic is obviously, as I've said, the perfectionist stream. We're aiming for the least amount of errors, perfect station stops, and the least amount of derailments possible. Although, as you can see, we've already started with 2 mishaps, so yeah, as always, you will have the chance to put in your requests and get the chance to see what you want running on the layout. There's plenty of that today. Now, I've also got a couple of updates, not really too many today, not loads and loads to talk about, so it's pretty much a relaxed afternoon / early evening stream today. Today we'll be live, as always, until about 6 o'clock, so then there's plenty of chance and time for the usual mishaps, of which we've already had 2, derailments, and of course banter with the live chat participants. So I will roll the intro to get this stream underway, and I'll see you in about 12 seconds. Enjoy the stream, everyone. Okay, right, well, that's another mishap because I've pressed the wrong intro, so we're on 3 before we've even started now. Let's try again. And we're back. So, welcome everyone. I'll just say a quick hello to everyone in the chat. So, hello to on the main line, Jaden. Thank you very much for joining. Transport and More, Pete Clark. Thank you very much for joining. And the Model Shed, Kurt. Thank you very much for joining. So, you know what I'm going to do now, don't you? You're already way ahead of me. Yes, as always, start of every stream, open the zest with the screwdriver. There we go. We're properly starting now. So, today there is chance for requests, as I've already said, but we're going to see how many derailments we can't get. I was intending on doing it if there's a derailment the stream ends, but then I realised that'd be about 10 minutes long before I eventually got something running and something fell off the track. So I've just decided to do how many mishap counts we've done. I will do, sort of do these streams as a series. I do your requests and your requests only. And you know that I also do the unprototypical streams, and they're not in sort of a series, but I've got like a collection of streams that I revisit every couple of weeks and just do it to mix things up a bit. So I've decided to do a new one. It is obviously the perfectionist stream, as you can see there, and we've already had 3 mishaps before we've even started, but hopefully not too many more. If we can keep it under 10, I think we're in for a winner today. Kurt has said, why is the intro so long? Well, as you know, my streams officially start at 4:15, and previously when I did streams on StreamYard, I found that the 2.5-minute intro wasn't quite enough. So by the time the 2.5-minute intro, maybe 0 or maybe just 1 person had joined, but then after 2 or 3 minutes, after the intro had played and I'd already started speaking and doing the stream and getting the trains running, I'd found that it took up to 5 minutes for people to get the notification, then stop whatever they were doing, and then get on the stream and get settled and get watching it. So I decided to increase the intro so that I can start it 5 minutes earlier. So we actually go live at 4:10, but the actual stream and sort of me talking now and the actual trains running starts at 4:15. So we've got, sort of 5 minutes for people to stop what they're doing, finish off the last job, sit down, get a cuppa. So they've got a large amount of time to be able to get ready, because I found previously that just wasn't enough before. You've also said, Mr. Loco, you're going to fit last week. Was it standard class 4? mainline standard class 4, I think. I think that's my next loco to fix. Although I've got a P2 and a Mallard lined up, and the class 47 as well, I mentioned quite often. I will do, Kurt. I'll put a playlist for all of my live streams, and then I'll put one for each sort of mini series of live streams. I did delete all my playlists a few months ago with the intention of tidying them up, but unfortunately I just haven't got round to it. So I might spend tomorrow, because tomorrow's supposed to be bad weather, or much worse than today. Tomorrow I will spend some time and get all my videos put into proper playlists. Sip of drink. But anyway, I'll get my trains going. So, on the 4th radius line, we've got to the HST. I've started off with my most reliable trains. So we'll start off with the HST. Headlights come on there. You can actually, yeah, you can see that. So, most reliable trains are going first. As always, I'll let each train do a little bit of a lap. Just let me know how the sound in the video is as well, if you could please. I think the audio's got better since I added the noise suppression filter in last week. But just let me know how the audio and the video is. There we go. So that's that one going. Bit of a change. I'll do the 2nd radius line. And we've got the 9F tender first for a bit of a change with the usual coal wagons. And again, I'll let that have a lap before the next one. Let it get up to speed. When I can actually see it. I'm sort of wedged in between the controller drawer at the moment. But since I added about 50 grams worth of weight to that tender, it does now stop derailing when going backwards, which is good. Speaking of tea, Pete, my tea today, well, my beverage of choice is a Pepsi Max, of which I've been having Coke Zero, the equivalent of Cokes. Yeah, Coke Zero. I've been having Coke Zero for the past few weeks because they haven't had any Pepsi Max at the Lidl where I live. So this is the first. Well, I think we had 1 can worth of this last week, but first time in a few weeks that I've had Pepsi Max. I think Pepsi Max's taste is a bit stronger and a bit crisper and a bit more refreshing than Coke Zero. So it's nice to be back on the regular stuff. Yeah, that's my beverage of choice. And my actual tea today is homemade doner kebabs. Kurt says, sorry I wasn't here long, but I got to go. Bye, guys. That's absolutely fine, Kurt. Thank you very much for joining for the start of it anyway. Very nice to have you here. And take care and enjoy your evening. And last but not least, let's get Tornado going with her coaches. I like tea. Pete says he likes his tea. I like my tea. I probably don't drink as much, as I'd maybe like to. If I thought, oh, I'll have a cup of tea, I'd drink it. But fortunately, my mind's on making videos half of the time rather than making cups of tea. So, yeah. I drink more tea. It's all about getting your water intake in it. I forget that, tea counts as water. Interesting, Pete. I don't necessarily like them because they're fizzy. I can drink, flat Fanta, and I can drink flat Coke if I've drank half a can and forgot about it and left it until, the next afternoon. It's not technically because they're fizzy, it's just because the drinks that tend to be fizzy are also refreshing. Kurt, you said you've tempted me with that tool from Lidl and I got one. Very nice. You've reminded me, actually, I've actually used that tool today, apart from restoring the Triang 040, which still needs a bit of work because it locks up when going backwards. forward direction, it's absolutely fine, but it locks up when going backwards. But my parents, in our living room, we've got quite a large plant, and my mum wanted to repot it into a bigger pot, but then put it inside a more decorative pot. So you've got like a generic brown plant pot that the actual plant is planted in. And on the outside, oh, that's a mishap right there. But then on the outside, it's like a more decorative pot. So you've got the actual pot inside, and then the decorative pot, as I say, on the outside. Mishap count's gone up. So the only problem is the pot she wanted to plant it in actually stuck up above the decorative pot. So it meant that, you know, there was no point in the decorative pot being there, because it just, the rim of the inside pot popped up on the outside one. So I used the cutting wheel on the plant pots to lower the height of the internal plant pot, and that went really well. Nice clean cut. It was a freehand cut, mind you, because obviously circular plant pots, and I didn't obviously have a jig for it. So yeah, another use for the rotary tool. Been worth its 20 quid already. Jaden says he used to have up to 20 cups a day. Crikey, even my granddad didn't have that much. And then the doctor said to have 45, so I now have 45. Interesting. I may even turn Tornado around, actually. I still haven't sorted this bit of track down here. I think the join needs packing out. I wonder if tender first on Tornado would make a difference. Let's give it a try. Because then the bogey wheels, which are the most fragile, wouldn't hit the join first. Obviously, the tender wheels are rigid, they're in fixed position, but obviously the front bogey wheels are the only ones that can move. The back ones are fixed to prevent binding on the low radius curves. So I wonder if I did the tender wheels first, if that would solve it. So we'll try it. Kurt, you say you really have to go now. Bye. Okay. Thank you very much for joining, Kurt. Whoops. Thank you very much for joining, Kurt. Hope to see you again shortly. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll get some requests on shortly as well. I can't forget about the mishaps. I'd love to forget about them, but I thought I'd also do today as a bit of an experiment to find out really how much mishaps go on in an average stream. I don't mind water. Sorry, you've said I love tea, don't mind coffee. I love tea. I only like coffee if it's filter coffee or like from a proper machine. Because instant coffee gives me a bit of a headache, and I don't know, I drink it and then I feel off for the rest of the afternoon. So, yeah, it's either filter coffee. I mean, tea's better. I can drink any sort of tea, any sort of regular Yorkshire tea, not any flavoured or Earl Grey or anything like that. But tea I like. Coffee I only like if it's filter coffee. And I do like water as well. Although I only have water if it's absolutely freezing cold. I can't drink lukewarm water. That's why there's a new fridge we get in for this kitchen. Obviously not just because of me, but there's new kitchen. His kitchen is having a water dispenser in it. And we're in his current fridge that obviously we're getting rid of when we do his kitchen. That has a refillable jug that we keep topped up, because if your water's not absolutely freezing cold, then I don't really like it, if I'm honest. I'll do some single camera action for a little while. Nine F's behaving now, especially backwards. since I've added the weight in the tender. Oh, Jaden, don't even get me started on Biscoff. Lotus Biscoff. I think Lotus is the brand. I think Biscoff is the actual biscuit. I don't have them all that often, although when we were in Morrison's looking for some specialist herb or something a couple of months ago, we did buy a pack of Biscoff. And yeah, they're lovely. But in our regular supermarkets, they don't sell them, so it's just a sort of a special treat if we have to go into Morrison's or Tesco's or something like that to get like specialist ingredients for varied recipes. So it's a bit of a treat when we do get some, but my God, they are lovely. I can drink any form of tea though, as long as it's not mint tea or green. Green tea is actually alright, I just don't think I've had it in a while. Just bog standard Yorkshire tea. Thankfully, where and I live, that is the common pot of tea. Okay, I think we will. I think we will get the trains. Stop now and get some requests on. Press the right button. So I'll slow the HST around for its final lap. Tornado's already doing adequately, so I'll let each train have another little bit of a lap and turn everything down a little bit. Tornado's already going just about slow enough, though. So I'll get everything going a little bit slower for their final laps. Thankfully, the trains seem to have staggered, so I'm not going to be trying to turn 3 knobs at once. Pete, you said, can I just say, you and Jaden are coming along great. Like I said, look amazing, in my opinion. Do you mean layouts? I presume you do. Layouts or channels. But thank you very much, Pete. That's good to hear. I have got a little bit of tiny little bit of an update later concerning locomotives and concerning scenery, because I've done a little bit more thinking. I have purposely let the 9F go on. That's not technically. I tell you what, we just bought some rich tea biscuits. We went to the supermarket to get some things for my mum for Mother's Day earlier, and yeah, rich tea biscuits. Never ever dunk a rich tea biscuit into actual tea, or it will end badly. Anyway, have we got any requests? Only things out of action is Flying Scotsman. I haven't had a chance to have a look at it this week. I've been really quite busy, and I still don't have a clue what's wrong with it. So the only thing that's out of order is Flying Scotsman. The Triangle 40 is semi-working, just not brilliantly. I think I need to readjust the pickups and maybe try another different chassis or do a little bit of tweaking on the gears. If I pop it on here, hopefully it'll work. So it goes forwards all right, you can see. So I have got the new pickup plate for it because the one was mangled, but you can see here, this is full reverse and it's not doing anything. If I switch it to full forwards, like that, you know, it goes, but backwards, nothing. So it only works in forwards direction, and even then, like now, it jams up a little bit. But, you know, it does alright. It just needs a bit of an adjust. I think it's just the worm gears lock up in backwards. If I give it a push, sometimes it will do backwards. But if I go forwards and then try backwards, it just locks up. So, yeah, it's semi-working. And I'll have a bit of a tweak with the gears this week. Possibly knock the one back or pull it forward slightly on the motor end. But yeah, only thing really you can have this because it will run forwards. But only things out of order is Flying Scotsman. So any requests, pop them in now, and I will do them for you. Scooby, you said, no, me biscuits drunk me brew. You mean your biscuits have absorbed all of your drink, or your biscuits fallen into your drink, or what? On the mainland says, don't dunk, or I will come to your house and give you a stern telling off. Depends what biscuit it is. Let's see what I want to run. For a start, let's get the HST off the middle of the platform. But yeah, any requests, pop them in. Oh, while I'm saying of engines that don't work, finally, after like 4 months now, I have had an email back off Hornby with regards to fixing the Class 31. The broken Class 31 that's been broken for the past 4 months. They have agreed and said, yeah, you can send it in. So I have to send it in the Hersden site. So I have to send it in there. And I have to send them like bank details so they can refund the postage. I have to send them. What else do I have to send them? I have to send them a letter telling them what's wrong with it, for contact details, postage, phone number, etc. But finally, they have responded and they have said, yes, we will fix it. Send it in. So hopefully, if I get it sent in on Monday, it said they all engines allow 28 days to get all engines fixed. So by the end of April, that 31 should be back up and running, maybe even earlier. Jaden says, I have biscuits on the side not in. Pete, he's bought a HST, very nice. Is that the same HST you put on your latest train video? Because I did see that. And a Fowler 4F, very nice. Any requests, I'll just remind you, they are open for now. I'll start taking things off. But yeah, any requests, give me them now, please. No doubt somebody will want the coaches, so I'll just put them over there. If nobody wants to put one on, I shall just put 3 on of my own. I have also noticed that the Class 37 I pre-ordered, the Class 37 Comet from Hornby, I have noticed that that has now been pushed back. So instead of summer 2022, it's now expected winter 2022 instead of summer 22. So it's winter 2022 or early, or how do I explain this? Because the website didn't explain it that well. It's either winter, the 37's either coming winter this year or the start of next year, because it said winter 2022 to 2023. So yeah, late this year, early next year, I suppose. Pete said, that's right, okay. On the mainland said, on the topic of food and drink, how do we like our steaks done? I'm not a vegetarian, so cabbage, I don't really eat cabbage. I think it's a bit slimy and horrible myself. But steak, medium rare. I don't mind a little bit of blood. I know my grandma likes it to be on the well done side, so medium well. I mean, she don't mind a bit of a pink. She just don't like when you cut into it and blood comes out. Myself, I don't want it like a river, but if there's a little bit, you know, I just think, oh well, that's flavour and it's juice. So medium rare for me. I don't know why I've just put the Virgin coaches back away, because I've decided what I want to run on the 4th radius line. Oh, if we're on food and drink for the rest of the stream, favourite type of chocolate? Not necessarily brand, or I suppose if you are a branded person, you can put the brands in. But favourite type of chocolates? For me, it's dark chocolates, and then milk and white on the same level. I'm not bothered what brand of chocolate it is, although Asda's quite good. Little Dark's good, although some people say it tastes like nail polish. It certainly smells like nail polish, but it doesn't smell awful. No, nail polish is not exactly a an absolutely horrific smell. But yeah, darks on top and then milk and white are sort of on par with each other. Right, let's get these coupling hooks. I'm sick of these flipping coupling hooks dropping off these coaches, and one has actually just gone on the floor, although I don't know where. That'll be something else I'll have to find. Although I do have one I have to put on from earlier. I'm really sorry. I didn't thought I'd changed cameras. I obviously haven't. Yeah, that's the wrong hook. Anyway, don't matter. I'll just have to look for it after the stream. Can't really look for it now because headphone cable, and I don't want to appear on camera inadvertently. I think that's the right word to use there. If I can actually get the flipping coats the right way around. I'm gonna have to take this hoodie off. It was quite, you know, cool when I came up here, but I guess me talking and me moving around's not doing much favours. Finally, the last coach, which I can't actually. Just need to move this one up now. There we go. Not easy putting it on point, so I don't recommend it if you can avoid it. There we go. Right. Fourth radius, go. If you will, without jerking. Start off slowly. Second radius, go. Power. I'm not bothered myself. Chocolate, I don't care what quality it is. I'm not bothered about the percentage on it. As long as it tastes like dark chocolate, I'm not bothered. I can eat pretty crappy chocolate, to be honest. I'm not too bothered myself. Brussels sprout. I do love Brussels sprouts. What we do is on Christmas Eve we have Brussels sprouts with bacon lardons. Oh, absolutely brilliant they are. Mark, thank you very much for joining. Nice to see you here. Hope you're doing well. And because nobody's put a request in, I think I'll also have one for myself. And continuing with the tender first scheme, that is exactly what I shall do. The director class man. I don't know what man the railway director's first name was, although I suppose I could have a Google. I love Brussels sprouts. I used to think, you know, I think I tried one maybe about 6 years ago, and I really didn't like it. But old people, well, I say old people, but people who are sort of maybe above the age of 30 might actually have a bad impression of Brussels sprouts. I did watch an Eat Well for Less programme on this. It was around Christmas time. But apparently old varieties of Brussels sprouts used to be really sour, but they have outbred those, and the ones you find in supermarkets are most commonly the sweeter version. Because I know a lot of people they interviewed on the Eat Well for Less I think it was Eat Well for Less. A lot of people they interviewed said, "Oh, they're really sour." And then they had someone like, "Oh, they're not that sour." And then they got told that, you know, they're sort of outbred the sour ones. Crikey, Jaden's going for a salt overload there. Bacon with salt and Brussels sprouts. I do like quite salty things. Not to the point of putting salt on bacon sandwiches or anything like that, but yeah. I'm doing fine, thanks, Mark. Good to hear you're doing okay. Hedgehog flavour crisps. Blech. I don't want to eat a hedgehog. Okay, right. That coach is just derailed, so up the mishap count, and we'll try and get it sorted. It's almost like the joke that if you've ever read the Tom Gates book, which I'm expecting out of the people here, Jaden is probably the most likely to have read it. But if you've read any of the Tom Gates books, then you know the fossils or the grandparents there do have weird food. One of them, I believe, has seaweed seaweed and wood flavour crisps. Joy of joys. But yeah, if you ever read those series of books, there are some very weird foods in there. Seaweed and wood. Try saying that with a mouthful of ice cream. Salt's bad for you, Jaden. Right, that's another mishap. That's just derailed as well. Oh, it's not going well today. Because this tender's far too light again. We really need to start buying some iron wheel balancing weights like Sam's Trains does. Because every steam loco tender I have, maybe apart from Tornado, is just terrible at going backwards. And yes, I know they technically wouldn't go backwards even though they can, but, you know, use on a model railway, and especially when I'm messing about like I am today, you know, you want things to work properly. Sorry, I had to mute the microphone there before I coughed my guts up on camera. Or on microphone. I don't know if I've already read this, but Jaden says, same, I have way too much salt on my chips. There's literally salt left on the plate. Jesus. Salt's bad for you, you know. I mean, I do like salty things. I like olives, I like Greek olives, I like feta cheese. But not to that point. Favourite crisps? Probably Quavers or Kettle, sea salt and balsamic vinegar. Thanks, Pete. It's not that I'm getting particularly irritated because this happens every week. It's just I did used to like Jane McCoy's roast chicken flavour. Need to get some proper McCoys. We've already had the little rip-offs. And I don't know, little rip-off McCoys are sort of a bit grainy. No, sorry, not grainy. They're a bit furry. They're not furry, but they just feel furry when you're eating them. Probably because all the spices are on top of the crisp rather than actually embedded. But yeah, they're not the best. I've had some Quavers today, though. They were nice. One problem I used to have with Quavers, 4 or 5, probably 6, 7 years ago now, actually thinking about it, is that they used to have like a snail shell. Now, I know this is disgusting, but they used to have a snail shell-like texture. They didn't taste crispy. They didn't just snap. A few years ago, when you put them in your mouth, they just sort of had that I don't know how you describe it. They sort of had that brittle, smooth snail shell texture, so that, you know, if you've ever seen a snail shell or ever had like a weak, you'll know that when you break it, it sort of goes into a million pieces and it, you know, it cracks. They were the texture of Quavers 6 or 7 years ago, and I really didn't like it then. So I stopped having Quavers for about 4 years until I thought, oh, well, maybe I should try them. And since then, I've always had good quality Quavers. I'm not just talking about a one-off with the snail shell-like texture either. It were a few week I had them for. So yeah, got put off by Quavers, but had some today and had some a few months ago, and they were absolutely fine. Speaking of sweet chili, Jaden, you've just reminded me. Sensations sweet chili. I haven't had them for a long time. In fact, I think I've only had them twice, but the Sensations sweet chili ones, they're lovely. What's it? Good shout. I love a good what's it. And the problem is they get stuck in my teeth, whether I've got braces in or not. But oh, I do love what's it. They're really nice. You know what? Because I miss the sound of Flying Scotsman's chuffing tender, I think I'm going to add the tender onto the back of one of these trains. Because I am kind of missing it, if I'm going to be honest. It's not been running properly for a few weeks, and I just haven't had time to have a look at it. But let's see. Oh no, I was going to put it. Hang on a minute. Yeah, actually, we can have it with VO8. I thought I'd put it with VO8 because it's the most strange, and it's a coal train, so top up the coal from the tender. But kind of miss hearing that tender, so we will put it with VO8. It won't be as effective because obviously it works best at higher speeds, but we'll still try and get a realistic 08 speed and get the chuffing as well. I love Doritos. The spicy ones are the best. Pringles. Oh, I tell you what. My favourite crisps, one of my all-time favourite crisps, a few years ago, you might remember, were the Walker's Lime and Pepper. My God, they were lovely. My mate had them about 5 years ago, it must have been. A lot of years ago, it must have been today. But yeah, my mate had some Walker's Lime and Pepper crisps, and I seem to remember we went into about 3 shops before we actually could find any of these Walker's limited edition lime and pepper crisps, because my God, they were really nice. They were really, really nice. The Walker's KFC, is it Walker's KFC ones? Yeah, they don't taste like KFC at all. Even McCoy's taste more like KFC. Still listed on the Tesco website of them crisps. But obviously they're out of stock. It's a shame, really, because they were really nice. Wonder if anyone's got any on eBay. No, they haven't. They've got poppadoms, Sensations poppadoms, lime and coriander chutney, but that's not the same at all. Yeah, a bit of a shame, really, because they were flipping lovely. Yeah, they were really nice. There were the paprika ones as well, but they weren't as good, I don't think. Scooby says, can't hear the layout, only voice mic. Yeah, unfortunately, I had to add some filtering, and obviously I can only use one microphone at a time. Yeah, with StreamYard, yeah, on OBS I can't really include the layout and the voice mic, but what I can do is put the voice mic next to the track every couple of minutes or something, just to give you the sounds of the layout. Because, yeah, I found that when I've moved on to OBS, the way the microphone system works, picking up my voice and the layout isn't as good, and when it is trying to do that, because I had to add some filtering, before I added the filtering, it'd be really weird, because every time, if I stop talking, then obviously you won't hear anything, but as soon as I start talking without the filtering, then you could sort of hear, like, the layout noise would suddenly come in as I was speaking. So if I just stopped speaking before I added the filtering, by the way, I'm using the filtering now. If I was to stop speaking, then obviously it'd be silent. But obviously, as soon as I start speaking, you'd obviously hear my voice. But then the layout would suddenly jump in the background. But when I stopped talking, you wouldn't hear the thing. So it must be some sort of automatic gain control that OBS is using. But yeah, it's just a little bit odd. I want talking. You couldn't hear anything, and as soon as I started talking, the background noise would come in, and I found it a bit distracting. So I had to add some filtering. I think there is an automatic gain control that you can turn off. I'll have a quick look in the settings now, because I can't remember what the term was, so I can't Google it, but let's have a look. Properties. No, it's not that. Must be in settings. Yeah, there's no way they'll do that, Jaden, otherwise they won't be in business. There's no way they'd do that, because somebody would have had food poisoning by now. There's no way that happens. They would be out of business and they'd have been sued. Yeah, I can't find that setting, but I think it's alright. I will let you listen to that tender Scooby. I'll put my mic down next to the thing and let you have a bit of a listen. On the mainland says he's never eaten KFC. I have had KFC, well, I have KFC sort of like once every 2 months, maybe. It's a bit of a treat. McDonald's I've only had about 3 times. I don't particularly like it. Burger King I've only ever had once. Yeah. It's not the fact it's disgusting to me. It's just the fact that obviously it's not very healthy for you. So wherever possible, only I don't have it very often, but it is nice. KFC Boneless Banquet I do recommend. Good value for money, and you get a lot of variety in it. So I don't mind them. I do quite like them, but if I could have them every week, I wouldn't. Because then you wouldn't think, oh yeah, let's have a KFC and have something we hadn't had for a while. If you had them every week, you sort of lose the specialty of only having them every once in a while. Right, I'll put my mic down next to the right-hand track over here. Obviously, I can't put it in 2 places, but I'll put my mic down and let you listen to the layout for a little bit. So just mute in a second while I get it off my head. I don't know how much you can hear. I hope my voice is less prominent now because it's not next to my face. Hopefully you heard me chuffing, but I'll let it come round again and I'll just sit quiet for a couple of minutes and let you hopefully you can listen to the sound of the layout. Just Okay then, so that was the sounds of the layout. I'll check back in the stream later. Hopefully you'll have been able to hear that. But yeah, I decided to open the runaround loop, and that unfortunately resulted in a derailment by the Triang Hornby Blind Scotsman tender. So mishap count is going up to 7. I don't know why it derailed. Maybe because it was being pushed over the curve. I'll stick it on the back and see how it goes for the rest of the session. I just like opening that little section up every now and again, just to add a bit of variety. I do actually need to chisel some more of that platform away, because every engine I've got can traverse and go around that section absolutely fine, except the 9F, who's retractable, well, I say retractable, whose sprung buffers actually catch on the side of the platform and make a bit of a loud pinging noise. And obviously I don't want to damage the platform, and I don't want to damage the sprung buffers, so I probably will have to chisel a little bit away and paint it up when I eventually fix the platform crack. Anyway, we're off and going with them again. Subway is the closest thing to that I've had, and have the same thing every time. I'm never revealing my secret sandwich to anyone. I do like Subway. I used to make my own Subway sandwiches, and probably should start making them again, and I take them in for lunch for school. Yeah, I should probably do that again, because they were really nice. They were really nice. I need to do that again, but just got lazy and couldn't be bothered making them, but they were really nice. When I had an actual Subway, must have been 2 months ago now, before Christmas anyway. I ordered a meatball marinara, because I remember my mate saying, "Oh yeah, it's really good, is this?" And I've told you this story before, but it was going fine. You know, I had cheese, I had olives, stuff like that. But the woman wrapping it up, it was her first day at the job, and she did an absolute terrible job. Got the sandwich, and she was ripping it and turning it. I thought, hang on a minute, love. I'm probably 20 years younger than you, and I can roll this sandwich better than you, or could have done. But yeah, she made a right ash of rolling it up, and it ended up in 3 pieces. And obviously, it's a messy sandwich anyway. But when it were all in bits, it just, it didn't end well. So slightly disappointed. It was nice, but you just couldn't eat it as a sandwich, or even bits of a sandwich, by using a knife and fork or anything. Bit of a shame, really. Tangfastics, absolutely my favourite Haribos are Tangfastics. I think my favourite sweets, not including chocolate, are probably Tangfastics, Minstrels, Galaxy Minstrels, and probably, might be a bit childish, but like Freddo Faces or Cadbury's Chocolate Fingers, because they're really, really nice. I've just left the camera on for a stationary shot for, I'll just leave it on for a couple of minutes for each now, just to give you a bit of a different perspective. Probably give them another lap, and I will get some requests. So if you'd like to put your requests in the chat now, take a break from talking about food, put your requests in the chat now, please, and one each just for the moment, and I will get them on the layout. So any requests, anything you want to see running, not including Flying Scotsman, so unfortunately it's out of order, but any requests you would like, please get some in the chat now, and I shall put them on. So get your requests in now, folks. No, Pete. I'm glad somebody reads my descriptions. Okay, I'll stop with all the bigging it up and talk now. But yeah, glad that somebody reads my descriptions, because they are a bit. Not everyone reads descriptions. I certainly don't read descriptions, really, unless I think, oh, what shall I do? Read the description. But yeah, thank you for saying you read them, Pete. It's good to know that somebody does. No, I haven't. Not yet. Okay then. That's his first request, so I'll start slowing everything down now. And we'll get the requests on. So, in fact, I tell you what, I won't stop things at the station. I'll stop things round the other side, and then you can watch me getting everything on and off. So we'll go straight over to the other side there. And tornado with Pullmans absolutely will do that. Don't know why, it took me a couple of seconds to work out what you meant by tornado then. Which was a bit stupid of me, but hey ho. Thankfully, again, the trains have naturally offset themselves, so I can sort of bring one to a stop at once. So that's pretty perfect stop there. The Marklin 03.10's coming in now. Perfect stop before the signal. Smashing. And the, yeah, struggled a little bit over that curve again. But, wow, perfect stop there as well. Right, so, tornado with Pullmans. We've already got a Pullman on here, so I shall stick it on the middle line. And I tell you what, because you don't see much, I should really do, actually thinking about it, I should do a running session doing shunting. But obviously I need more cameras for that, because I've got sort of 3 signs. I've got this one, that one over there, and the coal and water just down there. I won't count that as a mishap, because I just forgot to turn the controller up. But yeah, when I get another webcam, at the very least when I've got 3, I might do a shunting running session. Right, so that's in there. We can shut that just out of habit. And I'll get the Pullmans on. I do actually need to rewire these Pullmans, because the pickups are an absolute joke. I don't know why I didn't take more time to think about them, actually, but yeah, I do need to redo these Pullmans. All the 3 that light up anyway, because yeah, the lighting is good. I'm happy with the lighting effect that they have. Just not so happy at the continuity with the track. And now I will put all 4 on. Excuse me. But I'm not quite... what was I saying then? I started reading somebody else. Started reading a comment and forgot. I think I was saying it might... I think I was saying it might not manage all of them. But I can always take some off. It can't be that important if I forgot. I'm sure somebody can remind me. Right, well, I'll have tornado going the other way. Whoops. I won't count that as a mishap either, because that was my own fault. So I'll have tornado going the other way, because she does like going down that bump. Well, she doesn't like it, but it's better than going up it. So here we go. Wow, I actually got that tender on first time. That's almost unbelievable. There we go, tornado. Off you go. Or like, don't. You cut out. No, I'm pushing it the wrong way. That's why. Right, off you go. Pete says he won't mind anything running. Okay, Pete, I know exactly what I shall run for you. Because I know what your favourite is. So we'll get this train out the siding and get all the cameras back on. Ah, massive derailment. So the mishap count is going up to 8. Actually, no, make that 9, because Tornado's also derailed. Stop. Oh, that's the wrong way. So yeah, that's 9. Good luck keeping it below 10. My microphone. Good job keeping the derailments below 10, George. That's gone really well. Right, let's just pretend that the hand of God is invisible. You definitely cannot see me handling trains with my hands. Well, no, George, you've been handling them with your nose, wouldn't you? Right, Pete, so this is what I was going to do. I was going to do some fancy shunting movements and get the containers on, but God hasn't let them... Well, why am I saying about God? The model train gods is what I meant to say. Not letting that happen today. So I shall just use the hand of God that's completely invisible and doesn't annoy the model train purists whatsoever. One day, Pete, you'll be very happy when we get that 31 on going, and you'll be able to see a proper diesel with some containers, such as the 31 or the 37 when it eventually comes, and when I eventually get a 47. So don't worry, Pete, you won't be disappointed. Well, you'll be obviously I've got this diesel, I've got the HST, but you will one day be able to see a proper diesel pulling it. Hopefully in the next month. If not, if Hornby forgets to send me the 31 back, because if I forget to send me emails, then it might be the end of this year when the 37. Well, it is when you see the train coming. I don't know what's going wrong here. Did I have it going too fast or not re-rail it properly or what? But oh, Lewis Cartwright, thank you very much for joining. Nice to see you here. Moving away from sweets. Any curry fancy? Not particularly keen on curry. Not particularly keen on Chinese or Indian, if I'm honest. Right, we'll have these Pullmans going more slowly. And remember, I do have to set them to full wave, otherwise they do flicker. But Lewis, sorry, I wasn't ignoring you. Well, I kind of was, because I didn't notice your comment. But thank you very much for joining. You can see what I mean by the flickering. A little bit disappointing, actually. I could actually just buy the Pullman bogies, the spare. I can actually just buy literally just the Pullman's replacements pickup bogies for the Hornby Railways Pullmans that do have the light up table lamps, whereas I've modified the railroad ones to have interior lighting rather than just table lamp lighting. So yeah, I could just buy them, although they are quite expensive. So if I was to do that, instead of just buying some strips of copper, I could have to have done some more skenery. Some interesting conversations going on in chat that I have absolutely no clue what they are about, apart from the obvious Grandad driving one. Oh, no. Yeah, that's gone well. Right, you've been really annoying. You're going to be removed and shot. Wrong way again. And I haven't connected the train up. That's because I've been distracted by the other one. Go before anything else happens, such as you derailing, because I've hit you too hard. There we go. That didn't happen. That definitely did not just happen. There we go. We're all going, finally. After quite a lot of mishaps, but I will add another one on for the tornado derailing. But there we go. We're going, finally. Might have to buy some capacitors when some super capacitors, equivalent of DCC Stay Alive, but just some pretty beefy high capacity capacitors to keep those lights on over points, because no matter how well you do it, especially with lights, if there is even the slightest interruption in power, it's going to be noticeable. So I think I might have to get myself some super caps and do them properly. No. Right, that's 11. So we're definitely not under 10 now. Roast beef, chicken or lamb? Stick roast pork on the end. And then it goes pork because the meat's nice and you get crackling. Then beef, then chicken, then lamb. I'm not really keen on lamb. I don't really like lamb chops unless we're in Greece because then they're proper tender. But lamb we get in this country, I'm not keen on it. It's too chewy. I'm sat there ages gnashing it over and over again on the same piece. Yeah, I'm not keen on lamb. I like koftas. I like minced lamb. Koftas are basically just Greek lamb minced kebabs. But yeah, it goes pork, beef, chicken, lamb. for me. Not keen on lamb. I wonder how long we've been keeping this food conversation up for. Sorry, Pete. I've only just noticed your comment. You said thanks for putting the containers on, and you're very welcome. Sorry, I didn't notice your comment. Just analysing the transitions between cameras today. I think I'm going to up the time it takes for the fade between cameras. So if I fade, you can see there it takes a bit longer, and between this one takes a bit longer, and that one takes a bit longer. Well, that is a little bit too long because it's actually slowing down the footage there. So if I change it to 500 milliseconds, how does that look? Yeah, that's better. Okay. Sorry for the rapid camera changes. Yeah, that's definitely better. I'm going to keep it at 500 instead of 300. Just for a little bit more smoothness and gradual changes, because, if you blink, you've kind of missed the transition. Lewis is saying he'll pretty much eat any food. You could say that I'm a human Henry the Hoover. Fair enough. Here's another interesting debate about food. Do you enjoy food by A, eating it slowly and savouring the flavour, B, eating it at a average speed, or C, eating it very quickly and shoving as much food in one mouthful as you can to finish very quickly and literally swallowing massive food sizes at the same? So do you eat it at a normal speed, eat it slowly and roll it round in your mouth to enjoy the flavour, or do you just shove as much in as possible? I'll wait for the answers to come through before telling you about that, or what I do at least. I've just realised another little texty graphic I can add, and here's where you can watch me do some live editing. I can add like a challenge failed thing, so excuse the professionalness decrease apart from everything derailing. And I will add a little challenge failed thing just for the laugh. Why not? Because I can use these in future streams. Challenge failed. I love doing live editing. It's fun, you get to see exactly how I put things together in the meticulous way that I do. Make that a bit smaller. And stick it over there. Done. Just then when it's not failed, I can simply just hide it and then put it on. Like that. Obviously, I don't need the challenge. I don't need a challenge completed. Because, I simply just won't show the challenge failed thing if we do fail one of these challenges before. I don't need to go too fancy with the graphics, but, if your challenge failed thing is there, I've failed it, and as soon as I have, so today I said keep it under 10, so as soon as I went to 10, if I had have thought of this before, I would just pop up challenge failed. But I'm not going too fancy with the whole challenging progress and completed and stuff, because just a little bit too much. Obviously, that mishap count won't be there when I'm not doing the perfectionist streams. I'm not a perfectionist. I do like things to be neat and tidy and organised, but that doesn't obviously mean I've got perfectionism or OCD. I just like things to be neat and tidy. Lewis says that he is a shove as much food into my mouth as possible person. That's like my friends. Two of my friends, literally, if you've got a cheese string, if you know what a cheese string is, they will literally unwrap the cheese string, throw it all in, and pretty much swallow it whole. Whereas I peel off little individual strands and like to enjoy the food. So, two of my friends are the sort of gob as much down in one go and eat as much as possible. Two of my friends like that. Me and one of my other friends are like, small bites and savour it. And we all take the mick out of each other for, oh, you eat really quick or you eat slow. How do you enjoy your food if you're ramming it down? How do you enjoy your food if you're eating it that slowly? But yeah, two of my friends are fast eaters, two of my friends are slow eaters. Well, one of them, including me. But I'm never really a C person. I always like to enjoy my food, even if it's not my favourite food. The A person, I said normal. So I am normal, and sometimes I do eat it really slow. So if it's roast beef and we've got a really nice gravy, I will eat it slowly. Or if we've got pork and crackling, I will eat it slowly as well, because we've got to savour the crackling. Jaden says he's got to go. A very fun stream. Thanks so much. Stay safe and take care all. Goodbye. Yeah, thank you very much for joining, Jaden. Thank you for your requests. Nice to see you here as always. Thanks for your, input into the food category as always. Thank you very much for joining, and hope to see you again soon. Jaden says he is, by the way, somewhere between a B and a C, so normal and very fast, but sometimes depends on what I'm eating. Same here. Well, same here, but I'm an A/B. I'll put my microphone down next to the track again. This time I'll go for the other side, I'll go for this side, and I will let you have a little bit of a listen to the sounds of the layouts again. One moment, just while I mute and get the headset off my head. I hope you can hear the sounds of the layouts. If you can't hear the layout, let me know and I'll try and use the computer microphone or reposition it. But just let me know when I've stopped speaking if you can hear any layout sounds. You should be able to. And yes, I will keep quiet. Okay, so I don't know how much you heard of that, but just gave my voice a couple of minutes rest. I have got my drink, but don't want to run out of all my neck oil. Neck oil, for people who aren't in Yorkshire, means effectively neck lubricant or drink, because it wets the inside of your throat, you know. Who would have thought drinking gets your throat wet? Not me. Could do with getting a thermometer up here. Random thought, but could do with getting a little train thermometer up here and see how warm it gets, because I have got a jumper on. Here you go, jumper, but it's not cold. Sorry, it's not actually that warm. I'm just nice temperature-wise. Train I can't spell. Thermometer. I wonder if you can buy one. If it's cheap, I'll get one. Okay, well, you can get rail thermometers, which measure the how hot, I guess, a railway piece of track would be. I'm not quite wanting that. I'm wanting a train-shaped thermometer. Maybe that'll yield better results. Oh, come on. Train. Right. I'll try and do a screen share, actually. I don't know how well that'll go. Probably not very. No, you can get train-shaped clocks. I'm not quite wanting a clock. Thermometer. Train design. Nope, don't look like there is any. I'll just have to buy a generic one, I suppose. Shame. I wonder if I can do a screen share. How difficult would that be? No, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to mess around with stuff. I don't want the webcam accidentally coming on of my laptop anyway. I have to try that for next week or maybe something like that. Right, I think we'll stop the trains again. Oh wait, you can stop right there. 9F, I'll let you carry on for a little while. And tornado. Yep, that looks alright. Now we'll back the 08 up and chuck it in this siding again. Off we go. And I will make sure to actually stop the 9F this time. There we go. And there's the 08 stopped. Right, so I think... Actually turn the 08 off. What shall I go for? I know, I'm liking the containers. So I think we'll whip the 08 off, chuck that away. And I think we'll pay homage. Is it homage when you, like, respect an old thing? But I think, because previously, when I was doing one of my eBay, buy a non-working engine, get it fixed up, and then sell it on, so the person who buys it gets it for a good price. I make a bit of profit, but then it works really well for him. I think I'll do a bit tribute. That might be the word I was looking for. I think I'll do a tribute to one of my old YouTube shorts with that very old traditional HST. If you want to look through my YouTube shorts, you'll be able to find it. It's the one where I did container freight, but with a intercity HST, not a Virgin one. But we'll play tributes to that. And we'll get the HST going with some containers. Then, because I know Kurt would be happy to see this, I think we will do a 101 with some Pullmans. Or a Pullman, I should say. I finally got the buffers off Kurt's after a little bit of postage problems. I got some buffers up. Whoa, that's the wrong controller. But finally got some buffers, so it's a 4-buffer train, not a 3-buffer train. I'll probably set that to half wave now, actually, so we're not thrashing the motor as much. So I'll get that little train going. I'm enjoying that at the moment. And, yeah, well, let's go for another 040. And, because it matches, let's stick 2 Pullmans on with it. I'm just checking you can actually see what I'm currently doing. Should manage these Pullmans because they're both metal wheels and they're not a high resistance, high drag resistance rolling stock. Because these Pullmans that's another reason why I need to rewire them, because the rolling resistance is really quite bad. Let's get all cameras on again. Set Lizzie off. Yep, she seems to manage those fine. There we go. Smashing grommet. And because we live life dangerously, I've lost the coupling up for the night. Oh no, it doesn't matter. I've found it. Sick of that flipping coupling up coming out of that 9F. Absolute waste of time. I did have to glue the couplings in though, so it's not even like I can change them. Just have to glue. Oh no, I will actually be able to change them. Hopefully I will. But yeah, it'd be a bit of a pain to be honest, because it drops out. Oh, when I said I was going to tempt fate, I was going to say I will open up this second radius line so that instead of the HST going straight through to the platform, it will go round the loop. But seems like I've accidentally left it open and it's already doing that. I did actually have to rewire that HST with some thinner SCART lead wire because it wouldn't go round points, it would just derail. I still need to rewire the unpowered car because that's still rewired. That's still wired with the thicker wire, which means it derails on points. But yeah, it doesn't derail on points anymore, so I've just set it going straight. And all the trains seem to be doing alright. Maybe Lizzie could do with going a bit faster. Let's fix that. There we go. The 101's doing fine as well. Something I've had for a couple of weeks now, but not really thought to show you, is a little track tester I built. Now, I'm aware you can buy Gauge Master track testers that, you know, are really fancy and, you know, have different LED codes for low voltage and high voltage, well, 0 to 12, and different indicators for positive and negative, but I've actually been making, or have made, my own little track tester. Now, don't take the mick out of me because it's tiny and it's got an LED poking out the top, and because it's got a full bridge rectifier, as Electroboom would say, and because it's obviously made of hot glue. But this track tester has actually been really useful. Now, in the siding, that's just where these points lead off, I've been trying to get my controls to link up properly. I need to put some screws and actually secure them to the base, but because they just push fit together, the electrical connection can actually be a bit dodgy, and because some of the pins are a bit bent, it's difficult to get them aligned. And obviously, locos, some of my locos pickup problems are bad, and I don't want to be relying on the pickup problems and the moving of an engine to tell me if something's broken, because obviously, if I've got it whacked up to full speed, and if I don't have time to turn it down, then it will just shoot off the end of the track. and obviously pickups and how effective they are can affect it. So I made this little thing. Now all it is two wires that go in that I've simply just got some crocodile clips and crocodile leads going onto. It's got a full bridge rectifier. Because an LED is a diode, it will all that will happen is it will only light up when positive is on the positive lead and negative is on the negative lead. If you flip it the other way around, then that means it won't light up. So I've added a full bridge rectifier, which basically ensures that no matter, even if your positive lead is connected to negative, and even if your negative is connected to positive, no matter which way round these two leads are connected to the track, this LED will always light up. So if I didn't have that bridge rectifier, it would mean that the LED would only work one way, and you know, it's not a massive inconvenience to flip the leads around the other way, but it's, you know, for the sake of spending 10 minutes adding that bridge rectifier, it's much more satisfying to use. There's a resistor there to protect the LED from overcurrent, and obviously the blue LED at the top. So if I just do a quick demonstration now, and I could have used a white or a red LED, but I'm kind of preserving those for when I do, or if I want to add directional lighting to another engine. So because it's filled with hot glue, the wires inside don't go anywhere, and the only thing I have to worry about is the crocodile wires, so I can just plonk it on top of the rails and it's not going to short anything out. So I can clip the crocodile clips to the rails, turn it on, and it doesn't work. That's an embarrassment. That is embarrassing. Oh, no, it does work, just that the crocodile clip wasn't making good connection. So there you can see the LED is lighting up. Now, it looks like on camera it is actually pulsing. Now, to my eyes, it isn't pulsing. It's simply just because the controller on this line uses particularly harsh PWM, and motors on it run at, you know, the buzzing is, the PWM is at human frequency, the human range of hearing. So it looks like it's pulsing on camera simply because of the PWM and because the frame rate or the shutter speed of the camera. But to me, it's not pulsing, and hopefully, as you can see, as I turn it up, the flickering gets faster, and eventually on full whack, there is no flickering. So you can see that this is on forward direction. Now change it to reverse. It does work both ways, and no matter which way I have the crocodile leads round, it also lights up both ways. So as I say, it wouldn't be a massive inconvenience to turn the wires round and not bother adding the bridge rectifier, but for ease of use and for more accurate results, that is my little track tester. Yeah, not making a good connection here. There we go. Still not making a good connection here. There we go. So yeah, my little, still not making a good connection. Right, let's try something else. If I stick it there and there we are. That's a little bit better. My little track tester, proven useful so far, and does look a little bit messy because of the hot glue case, but so far this has been a really useful tool. Probably should have added another resistor because that LED is running at 23 milliamps. It's a 510 ohm resistor, so yeah, probably could have done with adding another resistor, but it's not doing too badly. But yeah, a little bit of a divergement there, but yeah, just thought something I'd share. Thank you very much, Pete. Glad you think it's an interesting thing. Now let's tempt fate and open the runaround loop. I may even turn it down slightly. Not because I think it'll derail, but because sort of match the speed of the other things a bit better. And sometimes, if you're in a train slower, that can actually cause it to derail easier. Not quite that slow. There we go. Let's do some single camera action. I have just thought, bringing back this topic, what is your... no, sorry, completely got that wrong. Bringing back the food topic, what is your... I'm still saying the question wrong. Bringing back the food topic, do you like licorice? What's your opinion on licorice? Or licorice, or whatever you say it like. Opinions on licorice. I shall wait till we get some responses, and if we don't get any responses, that's fine, but then I'll tell you what I think of it. But yeah, opinions on licorice. What do you think? All three trains seem to be, despite obviously not all running in line, they all seem to be relatively together. Although the HST and Lizzie are now in line. Pete Clark says, I like it, not had it in a while though. I think some of them are alright. I haven't had it for a while either, so I'm not really sure of all the typical colours and styles, I guess. But yeah, I'm not a massive fan. I like some of them. I think I like the one with like the sprinkles on them. I know they're not sprinkles, but I like the ones that look like they've got sprinkles on. I think they're alright. Black licorice, I'm not keen on. It's alright. I think in general it's just a little bit chewy for me, as I mentioned earlier. And yeah, some of them are a bit horrible, but some of them are passable. And you know, if somebody offers me one, I'll just be nice and say, yeah, I'll have my favourite one. They're definitely not my choice for sweets, though. Oh, Pete, I've just reminded myself of something while I was letting my mind wander. Then you probably know what I'm going to do as well. You're probably also one step ahead of me, but yeah, get your hammer in there. We haven't had that for a while. I've stopped doing that tradition, but there you are. Get your hammer in there. I have actually just realised that all my posters are coming down. My Flying Scotsman poster illustration that's normally here has come off, and all my decorations up here, which you can't see because of the camera, all those are coming off as well. I'll take the microphone off and lay it down next to the track again. Give you something to listen to while I sort that out. Again, quick mute while I take it off my head. Okay, I've sort of put it sort of on the joist, because this is the joist just here where the webcam is. I've put it on a joist, so hopefully it'll pick up the sound a little bit better. But just give me a moment while I stick all my falling posters back on, I should say. I should probably use hot glue, to be fair, because I think the blue tack expands or shrinks in heat. Although it's not particularly warm up here, it sort of expands with heat, so it might be a good idea to hot glue some of them on if I know they're going to be there permanently, because blue tack does seem to fall off. Get the hammer in there! I have seen your comment, Pete. I haven't had any mishaps for a while, which I'm pleased to say. Although now I've said that, everything will explode and a grenade will somehow end up in loft. Okay, I'm back with the headset on. I think I will let the trains do, let's say 5 more laps, and I'll gauge that on the slowest train, which looks to be the HST. So I'll give the HST 5 more laps, and I'll begin bringing things to a close. Fun fact for the nerdy technical people out there, the total amount of dropped frames, so sort of frames that haven't been streamed or missed by the software, we've had 3,884 dropped frames. But if I do the maths, that's 2.2%. So I think we're running at 30 FPS. Yes, we are. So we've been going for 1 hour 39. So let's say 1 hour 40. So that's 100 minutes times 60 to get the amount of seconds. So that's 6,000 seconds times 30 is 180,000 frames. So out of 180,000 frames, we have only had 4,000 out of 180,000 frames have been dropped. So that's actually really quite good. It has been low as 200 before, but the Wi-Fi has been pretty dodgy today. And the kilobytes per second count in my bottom right, which you can't see, but that count has been going up and down. So really, that's not too bad, if I'm going to be honest. That's 2.1%. So yeah, that's really quite good for the technical people who are interested. Yeah, and if I do the actual maths, then that's 2.15%. I only get 1 decimal place on OBS, but yeah, interesting to watch that count sometimes. I just thought I'd mention it, because I have had a habit of mentioning it in streams before. I haven't even been counting how many laps the HST has had, so let's say we'll give it 2 more, and I'll begin bringing things to a close for today. Not quite, though. It's got 2 more laps from the station. Well, from the point it is at now. So there's its first lap. We'll give it 1 more, and then we'll give it 1 more after that, and on the 1 more after that, I shall stop the trains. I'm not going to stop the trains before that's done, the one after that, though. I'll start stopping them after. Well, no, one's picked up some speed. It'll be because the motor's got a bit warmer. Which technically should actually drop the resistance of the coils, but I don't know. On paper, the longer a train runs, the hotter it gets, so it should run slower, but in real life, yeah, that doesn't happen. Right, so I can now shut the points. That one had a stone stuck in it, so that's why I was flicking it. And this time, I will stop the HST. And Lizzie should be just about behind enough to give me enough time to bring everything to a gradual stop. So please tell me we're going to get... yes, we've had 1 perfect stop. That's good. Let's get ready for the other 2. Because stops have been pretty much bang on today, apart from the 08. But I needed to pull that forward to clear the side end of the points earlier, so that's why that wasn't exactly perfect. So that's 2 out of 3. Can we get a 3 out of 3 perfect stops for the end of the stream? Nice slow finish. Yes! 3 out of 3 perfect stops. I'll turn the controllers off, and I'll turn the switch off at the mains, because that's something I should get into the habit of doing. Switch off at the mains, if you heard that satisfying click. So, that has been, as you can see... Okay, that's not gone well. Where's the right button? There we go. You can see there that the Perfectionist stream hasn't been quite so perfect. You know, we've ended up with 11 mishap counts. I wasn't expecting 0, but I was hoping for less than 10. So yeah, we haven't done too badly, but we have sort of managed to not really go over by that much. Technically, we've gone over 2, but that's not really that much. So now I've done a bit of an experiment. The next time I do one of these streams, we will try to get to that count below 11, and each stream I'll try to aim for below 10. And if I do end up below 10, say if I get 8, then I'll try for below 8, and gently try to reduce the amount of, well, I guess, mishaps we have. So, yeah, that's been an interesting stream. I think next week, as I've said, I will start scheduling these streams literally as soon as I finish this stream. I will hop onto the YouTube studio and get next week's stream done. Not sure what I'll be doing for next week's stream. Might do a servicing stream, but that will be decided about 5-10 minutes after the stream, after this stream has ended. So if you want to save it for your watch later page, if you do want to get the reminder set, then stick around for 5-10 minutes after this stream has ended. Go to my channel page, and in the section that says upcoming streams, there will be the sort of preview, I guess, page before the stream starts. So if you would like to save it and get the notification, then stick around for 5-10 minutes and it will be on there. But yeah, that has been the Perfectionist stream. Not so perfect, but has certainly been interesting to find out how many typical mishaps I normally have. So thank you all, everyone, for watching me for today's live stream. It really has been wonderful to see you all here today, and thank you very much for your requests as always. Some good requests today. Quite a few that derailed, but I guess that's just the point of doing the stream to see how many mishaps we normally get. I hope you have enjoyed watching the stream as much as I have had running it, and as I always say, these weekly streams really are one of my favourite types of content to produce and make. I will hopefully see you at the same time next week on Saturday at 4:15, and as I've said, I will be scheduling the stream straight after this one, so stick around if you'd like to save the notification so you don't forget next week. But other than that, there will be plenty of time for it to appear in your watch page and save it and all that. However, meanwhile, I would just like to say thank you all very much once again for joining me this evening. And to finish off another episode of Hybrid Kennels Railway Live, I'd just like to say thank you to everyone for joining in the chat. So that's Pete Clark, that's myself, that's Scooby. Well, I should probably actually tell people the channel names. So that's Pete Clark, Transport and More. That's me, Hybrid Kennels Railway. That's Scooby2142. That's Jaden from On the Main Line. That's Lewis Cartwright from Lewis Cartwright. That's the Model Shed. That's Kurt from the Model Shed, and that's Mark from Hemel Down Model Railway. So thank you to all those people. Thank you to my moderators as always, and take care and bye for now. See you next week, everyone.